What's up, guys? So I'm going to share with you my thoughts on some of the best exercises for athletes with longer limbs, right? So given Bergman's rule and Allen's rule, some of us are more evolved in a warmer climate, and therefore we have longer limbs. We're more lean, right? Again, that's a byproduct of being evolved in a warmer climate. Again, a lot of my ancestors on my mom's side evolved in places like Palestine, Yemen, and Saudi Arabia. And then on my dad's side, a lot of my ancestors evolved in Iraq. Again, warm, semi-arid climates, hence longer limbs, leaner build, yada yada. That being said, I will go through each movement pattern and I will tell you what are the best exercises for that movement pattern. Now, your best squat exercise is going to be the front squat, right? It is easier to get down in the hole with front squats for us with longer limbs than it is with back squats, right? So front squat, and I think front squat is the greatest absolute strength exercise of all time. And if you are a thrower, or if you're a high jumper, or a weightlifter, or a soccer player, a triple jumper, or a sprinter, or an American football player, you should definitely be doing front squats, right? Number 2, horizontal pressing. I would probably go with the floor press. That is less range of motion than a traditional bench press, but I do think it is beneficial for those of us who have longer limbs, because again, less range of motion. Number 3, I will say for triple extension. Well, actually, so we have 2 triple extension movement patterns. We have snatches. I would just go with a good old-fashioned power snatch, nothing fancy, or a 2-box power snatch. Just off of pull-in blocks. Nothing really fancy, just 2-block power snatch or just a regular good old-fashioned power snatch. With longer limbs, it's going to be trickier for us to get down in the hole. So that's why I would say just a regular old power snatch or a 2-block power snatch. For cleans, either power cleans or squat cleans. I mean, you're strong in front rack. It don't really matter. But for snatches, it definitely matters. And that's why I'm not coaching any athletes at the moment. This is just me as a lifter, as an athlete, saying my experience from over 10 years of training. Power snatches and 2-block power snatches are the preferred snatch exercises for those of us who have longer limbs. Or you could do like a power snatch, hang power snatch, 1+1 or 1+2 sort of deal. I think that would actually be a really wicked workout and, be a great way to improve your dynamic trunk control, technical coordination, and stuff like that. In terms of lunges, I would say either lunges, regular dumbbell lunges, or dumbbell Bulgarian split squats would be good just to improve that unilateral strength. In terms of plyometrics, your go-to is probably going to be seated box jumps or pogo jumps or something like, just dynamic straight up impulse and just generating force, seated box jumps, but also pogo jumps are good too, just for a little bit more volume. In terms of more dynamic exercises, I also would recommend backward sled drags. I would also recommend sled pushes just to get knee drive good, and get dorsiflexion good, stuff like that, right? And this is me speaking as an athlete for over 10 years, right? And in terms of vertical pressing, so overhead pressing, I would either say a BTN snatch grip push press or just a regular push press if you can. But I do like the BTN snatch grip push press. That's less range of motion, so if you have longer limbs. And then you all are also recruiting more motor units when you do that exercise, when you do the BTN snatch grip push press. And that's actually probably my favorite snatch grip push press, BTN snatch grip push press, and BTN snatch grip split jerk are 2 of my favorite pressing exercises. I do like regular push presses and regular split jerks and regular power jerks for that matter, but snatch grip and BTN are just easier when you have longer arms. So if you're like a American football defensive end or Sam linebacker, Will linebacker, or if you're like a high jumper or a javelin thrower, those are probably going to be easier for you. So again, those are just my thoughts, but feel free to add anything in the comments. And I do think back squats, bench press, and dips and pull-ups are going to be your toughest exercises. And then anything on a machine if you have longer limbs. Even if you're short and you still have long limbs, like if you're like a short Yemeni dude or a short Iraqi dude or Palestinian dude, and you're kind of lean but muscled, but you have long limbs. So basically me, right? Even then, like back squats and traditional bench presses are just harder because of your longer limbs. So that you have to go to front squat or you have to go to a floor press or whatever. So that's just my thoughts. So there you go. That's all for now. Peace.